this past Saturday. Kind of tell me just your overall thoughts on how both the men and women performed.
It was an amazing competition for us. We had PRs across the board in every event group. I would say almost every athlete had a personal best or a season best in something, if not multiple events. So it was a great competition. We had a pretty well-rounded flights and heats of competition with the 4 schools that we're visiting. Even though they were all pretty small schools, they each kind of made up for each other's weaknesses. So every event had some competition for us, and it turned out to be a really good meet.
Nice. This week, you'll split up the squads. The one is Stanford. Division I athletes. Everybody's an track and field athlete. But do you feel like for you guys, the D2 school coming in, there'll be other schools, but do you feel like for your athletes they want to push it even more, or is it just kind of like it doesn't really matter? It's just athletes and athletes.
No, for them, it's just a big honor to be accepted into that meet. In terms of the performances that come from it, from a coach's standpoint, I'm not always nearly as excited about it as the athletes are. Stanford's actually a really difficult meet to coach at because they are so strict on not allowing people to have access to the facility that it makes it really difficult to talk to your athletes, to coach them, to give them any feedback at all. And there's such a crowd of people there in a small area that even when you try to give them instruction, they can't hear you, they can't see you. So it's a really difficult venue to compete at. So for them, it's just about, putting on the performance, putting on the show and being out there on their own and doing the best they can and hoping to rise to the competition. Obviously, they definitely will get, a lot of really, really strong competition at Stanford with a lot of Division I's, unattached professional athletes. Occasionally there's Olympians that compete at the meet. So there's, it's a really big meet atmosphere, and it's really just a good opportunity for those select athletes that get in, to really perform and see if they can put up any big marks that would help them to get to nationals.
Mm-hmm. On the women's side last week at that ranking 20th, and is that something that you expected from the women this season? Is there you feel like there's still more work to be done, and you guys could even jump higher in that ranking?
The rankings early in the year are always, I don't want to say unpredictable, but here on the West Coast, we have the longest outdoor season of anybody. So we get the earliest outdoor marks that anybody in the country gets to put up. So I think every year we can pretty consistently know that at the very beginning of the season, we're usually going to be ranked a little bit higher than we are at the end of the season because there just aren't as many people competing yet. That I don't want to downplay, the recognition, because it always is a big honor, and we have put up some really good individual marks early season, and we want to celebrate that. But I think as, the rest of the country opens up their outdoor seasons and they're not, covered in 10 feet of snow, our rankings tend to go down because everybody else starts to compete. So that's something that we can expect. We're still just trying to vie for individually to get the best marks we can get and to get as many athletes qualified to nationals as we can.
Great. Anything else you'd like to add? Anything that we didn't cover?
The San Francisco used to be the San Francisco Distance Carnival. Now it's called the Mike Fanelli Track Classic over at Chabot College in Hayward. That's going to be where the majority of our athletes compete this weekend. That's usually a very, very good meet just in terms of especially distance runners, but it's grown a lot in the past few years, and it's really athlete friendly and coach friendly. You have access to your athletes, and you have a much better opportunity of being able to help them and coach them throughout the meet. And we've traditionally had really good success of athletes having good marks coming from that meet. So as we're excited for Stanford, I'd say as a whole we're really excited for that other meet as well. It's a really good opportunity for us to compete against athletes from all over the country because it is a really, really large meet with a lot of different levels and a lot of different teams that compete. So we're excited for it.
Sounds good. So we'll send you to the